Okay, so thanks for coming, everyone. We're going to start in the usual process, starting with broadcasters, and then cameras will be off for the writers. Yeah, would you mind? That's okay. Thank you.
The beginning of the season.
We'll get there. Okay, Chris from Sky Sports News. Thank you.
Yeah. 2 days away from your Premier League debut. How are you feeling?
Always in the same mindset, ready to start. We prepared the team. We are really happy to begin this season because it's important to train, but we like the game and we like to share that with our fans. That's why the first game is always weighted, and the first game at home will be like this too. And for the moment, we are in the last line. We have to do it quickly and to be in our best version to compete against Everton.
Your captain, Dean Henderson, he came off in the last game against Freiburg. How's his fitness? Will he be able to play?
He will train today with the keeper's coach, and we will take the decision tomorrow, but we hope he is able to play.
What's the nature of the injury that he came off with?
A little twist with the ankle, but not too much. And during the game, we take the decision to preserve him because he is able to play, but we prefer let him in recovery 2 or 3 days of treatment and come in a better shape to be at his best level.
The rest of the team, in terms of fitness, is it looking healthy, or anyone else potentially could miss out against Everton?
Everybody could play, and I have to do some choices. This is the job, and it's a good problem for me. And I'm happy with that because when I have choices, I can anticipate a lot of scenario and have a lot of options.
There's less than 2 weeks now until the transfer window shuts, but you've signed a couple of new players in the last 7 days. How are you feeling about where the squad is at the moment?
For the moment, they discover how we play and they take a good position in that, and we can see what we saw during the videos and the match we saw about them, and now we are happy they are here to integrate them in the team and to make them Crystal Palace players now.
Do you expect more new Crystal Palace players?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2. And like I said on Monday, we have time. We don't want to take a player who is not for us. We just want to take the good player for us. That's why it's not about 1 or 2 days, because we have to work with these guys during all the season. And sometimes it's better to wait than to take the first to come.
Will one of those 1 or 2 players be in centre-back? Because I know obviously Max Lacroix left for Chelsea. I know you brought in Tomiyasu and other defenders, but is that a position that has to be filled because of the loss of Max?
First of all, yeah, we need a player in this department, a player with a lot of games, if possible in Premier League, because we need players, but we need a leader. And that's why we need to wait a little bit to find a good one.
Axel Disasi has played a lot of games in the Premier League. Would he be one, potentially?
He is a player from Chelsea. It's difficult for me to speak about a player of another club, but I hear the same noise as you.
Well, speaking of noise, there has been some noise today about one of your players. Adam Wharton, obviously, been such a good player for Crystal Palace down the years, and Crystal Palace have had to sell some of their best players. There's a story today that Man City have made an inquiry. What can you say about that, and what can you say about if an offer was to come in for Adam? Is that a player that potentially might have to leave, just like some of the other big Crystal Palace players that have had to leave down the years?
We did it, and now I think it's not the moment to do that. I think he is able to play in another club, in a big club in here or everywhere in Europe. But I think 1 year with us, 1 year with a new dynamic will be good for him, and we need him. That's why I think he will stay with us.
You think he'll stay this season, and maybe after that it could be reviewed or something like that?
We will see. And I hope he continue his improvement, and he has other arguments to live. That's why we work every day, and that's why he gives his best every day too.
You coach Wilfried Zaha, I believe, at Lyon.
Yeah, 4 months.
I know he's been training outside, just these pitches with a private trainer. Is there any chance at all that be tempted to bring your role player and a Crystal Palace legend back to the club?
Yeah, I know he's a legend here, and I'm happy to see that he gives this link with the club and with the fans. But to be really honest, I don't think he will stay with us.
Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's got a year left on his contract. It was quite open that he was close to leaving in January. Where are you at with him? Is he someone you see staying, or because of that year left on the contract, is it possible that Crystal Palace might have to cash in and sell him? No.
For the moment, he's with us. He's able to play on Saturday, and we are happy with that. He didn't play the last game because he came at the beginning of the week, and we need times to prepare him. It's the same with Pinot, and it's not a game to take a risk. Now we have the possibility after 2 weeks to give them more minutes, and I think it's a good strategy for both.
And Romain Esse, I know that he's a player that the club have tried to give minutes at other clubs. He hasn't managed to play a lot here. Is that something you want to see resolved? Is it likely that he'll leave in this window?
To be honest, I think he will leave because we will have not too much time to give to him, and it's a best thing for him to find another solution. I know it's a player from the academy. I know how he's important for the fans because I came from a club who has a good academy too. But sometimes it's just about honesty. If the players, for the moment, needs minutes anywhere to become the players he will be, it's better for him and for us maybe. That's why he is not with the team for the moment.
And my last one, you've signed Mingueza, Anan as well. Muñoz can play in the right wing back position. It seems like you have a lot of players who can play in that right wing back position. Do you have too many, or Muñoz again is someone else who's been linked away with a move? Is that potential for him maybe to move away from the club?
You need to know that Mingueza is able to play on left, and when he plays on left, he plays not like a wing back as we know, but he is able to play inside, and it's a good option for us. That's why for the moment we have 4 wing backs and 3 with right foot, only 1 with left foot. But for Muñoz, I heard noise like you said, but he's happy to be with us, and we are happy he's here.
Thank you. Good luck on this.
Thank you.
Sam.
Thank you. Yeah, lovely to meet you. First things first, how are you settling into life in London? How are you settling into life in Crystal Palace?
The life in London I didn't know really well because for the moment all my time is for the football and the preparation of the team. But I know the city is wonderful and amazing. And in the club, I discover all the facilities because we started in the academy and now we are here because there's a lot of works here. It's the first week for us here. And we left 2 times in a camp. That's why it's always in a different context. But I met a lot of good person, really focused on their role, really focused on the objective of the club, really in line with the culture of the club, and that's the most important thing for me because I have to understand that to be a Crystal Palace manager in the line of the previous ones.
You've had to work your way through the lower leagues in France. How much does it mean to you to be now a Premier League manager, and what do you think the personal emotions will be when you walk out on Saturday?
When I was a young coach in amateur club, it was a dream. Now I'm here, and it's not a dream, it's a reality, but I think it's only a step. I keep my ambition. I want to go forward with this team, with this club, as long as we can. And I want to continue my improvement and the improvement of the club too, and the players, like I said about Adam Wharton, for example. But emotionally, it's really a good moment. I'm really impatient to play this first game with this new jersey and in this new club, and with a lot of pressure because the club won 3 trophies in the last 2 years. That's why now we have the habit to win, but we have to confirm that every day by working and by performing during the game.
Do you expect your players to understand your ideas immediately, or is it a case of this will take a bit of time and we focus purely on results?
We cannot be only focused on result. We have to be focused on the way to have result, because like I told you, it's not 1 game, 2 games, it's about 60 games maybe, and we have to prepare all these ones. It's not only for the first game. That's why the ideas, the principles are really important, and we work on it every day. For the moment, we have not all the players at the same level, because some of them come late with the World Cup, but we will take time to explain them, to leave that on the sessions too, and to be able to play as a team as we choose, and not as we can, but as we choose.
As for Everton, difficult to ask you what have you made of them so far, because of course the season hasn't started, but from what you know about them, what sort of challenge are you expecting?
It's a good first game, because last year the 2 teams were close in the table, but like you said, it's another context, and now we have to be the best version of us for the moment, to compete and to fight at the highest as we can, as we are able for the moment. And we want to be ambitious for this game. We want to win. We go there to win. We don't go there to close the play. We want to play. We want to show what we are able to do, and we want to take confidence by doing things and be efficient in what we decide to do.
Dwight McNeil will be going up against his former club if he plays. What are you expecting from him, and how much is he, going to enjoy the idea, the prospect of going up against his old club so quickly on?
First of all, it's really difficult to play the first team with your new team against your former team. But I did that as a coach last year, and one time it's happened, it's done. That's why we make a lot of noise with that, but at the end it's only a game. And to speak about him, it's really a good player. He's able to be really efficient between the lines. He's good to imbalance the opponent. He have a left foot of high level, and now we have to connect with the others to play for us, and not only as a player alone.
Just finally, Pierre, I must ask you about the Crystal Palace supporters, known for being some of the most passionate in the Premier League. How important are they going to be for you this season?
For me, it's the most important thing, because we play the football for us, we think, but we play for the fans first of all, because without the fans and the person behind the screen or in the stand, why playing football? That's why we want to play in the way the fans are waiting, with energy, with the culture of the club, and to be in a shape they want.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of the broadcast section now.